All right. Joining us again on the program, head coach A.W. Hamilton from EKU basketball. Coach, always a pleasure to chat with you. Thanks for coming on again this week.
You're my guy, man. We all appreciate you, all the coverage you give us, and the positive coverage, and especially for our young people in the program. It's awesome for us, and we're very thankful.
I love talking with your players. We've had Tayshawn and Leland on the last couple weeks. We had Cooper on this program as well, and talking. We've had Coes on this year, Mike back earlier in the year as well. And it's the energy around the team this year. There's just so much more positive energy this year. I mean, last year was so tough with the injuries and the sicknesses and all that kind of stuff. And I was talking to Coop about this just a few minutes ago, but just the excitement that's all around this program right now. And obviously, and he mentioned it, winning is fun. So
Yeah.
that helps a lot, right? But I mean, I know last year was hard. You still enjoyed it. It was hard. But how much more fun is it this year, I guess, than last year?
Well, last year was a strange season. We dealt with so many injuries, and with Jansen and Braxton and Tay Tay, and then Cooper with his shoulder. And we dealt with so much. But this year has been this is a special group. We talked the other day as a team, and we said, I asked the guys, I said, what does a family have that makes them special? Like, what does your family have? And when we all came back to the same word is they have love, and they have each other's back through the hardest times. And that's what this team has. They have genuine love for each other. And when you watch them play, they celebrate each other so much. And that's that's the joy you get when you're coaching is how much passion and love they have and for each other. And it's not about the individual player making shots. Is it my night? It's about each other. And if you watch our bench, everybody's up, everybody's cheering. It's been a really fun group to coach because of that. Because they bring that passion every single day to practice. And I give our young guards, like Leland and Tayshawn and Turner, like they just, they have that energy every day. And Leland and Tayshawn talk trash to each other every day, but are like literally brothers. I mean, you cannot separate those two guys. So it's been a lot of fun to coach these guys.
And that's a lesson for young people to learn because everybody on your team, or I'd say the large majority of them, want more minutes, would love to get more shots, whatever it may be. But even within that push within them, that motivation within them, they're still willing to love the guy next to them and support them in their success and in their opportunity as well. Because granted, I'm sure there's some guys that are on your bench that would love to play more than they do, but you're not seeing them pout and stuff like that on the bench as they're doing it. Like I said, like you said, they love each other enough to still support one another.
Yeah, I mean, so look at our last game. Tay he picks up two quick fouls. He doesn't even play in the first half, and he was the biggest cheerleader over there. And Michael lifted us up. Cozart continues to play better. Leland comes in and does what Leland does. I mean, Leland, we call Leland our sixth starter. I mean, he's been electric for us. So, but it's I'm really happy for these guys. But what we got to do is, we got to keep going and we got to keep getting better. I don't want these guys to get comfortable. There's so much season in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, Mike was ASUN Player of the Week this week. I think I just saw on social media as well, and continuing to score points for you. And Tay-Tay's been great again this year as well. I want to know though about the growth of the young guys. We watched early in the season. In one of the early games, I don't remember which one it was now, but they got pressured early and they had some turnovers and stuff like that. And you said at the time, they're freshmen. It's going to take some time. They're going to grow. How have the young guys grown so far this season?
Well, you and I talked about this, a lot last year, and then going into this year is this group. You want to be a player-led program. What that means is, everybody can hold themselves accountable, and when you can hold yourself accountable, then I think it creates carryover from the film room, and that's what our young guards do. They have a great accountability, They live in the film room. They understand the mistakes they're making, and they want to grow. They don't fight that, So now you're watching them play. They're so much better in the ball screens and making the simple plays. Leland and Tayshawn's assist numbers are going through the roof right now because they're understanding the game and they're understanding how to make the simple play and get their teammates easy shots. I mean, you look at our game against Stetson. I mean, Leland and Tayshawn. I mean, Cozart, Darden, those guys are just getting dunks at the basket, because those guys are just making the simple play off the pick and roll. So it's those guys' ability to have, carry over from the film room, hold themselves accountable, love to be coached, and it shows on the floor.
5-1 in conference play, and you've had some large margin wins the last couple ones, which is nice as well, where you're not squeaking it out at the very end and stuff like that. Stetson 85-70, Florida Gulf Coast 97-76, and then the big 3-point win over Liberty the day before that. Now you're going on the road for 3 games. You guys have been great at home. What is it, 9-2 or 9-1 at home, something like that. And now you're going on the road for 3 games. So what is this stretch of road games going to show you from your team?
Well, this is a critical point in the season. Everybody goes through this. You're coming up on the halfway point. To be a contender in the league, you have to win on the road. In Lipscomb, I don't want to get ahead of them. They're a very good basketball team. They're a great offensive team. They're defending much better. We're going to have to go into Lipscomb, and we got to play extremely well on the defensive end, which is, you look at us, we're winning. We're doing great things offensively, but it's our defense that's leading to our offense. We're rebounding the ball, very well. We're guarding one-on-one a lot better. Our weak side defense has been much better. And Cozart and Darden are blocking everything. They're cleaning up mistake after mistake for us. So we have to be great on the defensive end if we're going to win at Lipscomb.
Yeah, and you look at this. It's just so impressed. I'm excited. Saturday, the 28th, the Bellarmine game at home. I'll be able to be at that game, and looking forward to get back into the arena. But this, from top to bottom, every player that comes out on the floor for you right now is contributing. They're doing something, whether it's for a minute at a time or multiple minutes at a time, whatever it may be. DK Darden has, the last couple of games especially, we've started to see his stats go up. He's always got the energy and the aggressiveness and things like that. Now you're starting to see, or at least we're seeing it in the stat books as well, the results of that kind of thing. We've talked about the bigs or the lack of bigs last year. This year you got 2 bigs plus Wardy. He's not big, but he plays big. But DK, he was injured to start the season and kind of working his way back. It seems like he's really finding his niche on this team.
He is. And, Darden had an unbelievable summer. And coming into the fall, he was playing at a very high level and then suffered a couple of injuries. And he's starting to get back into his groove. And he's starting to play with so much more confidence. But, it's not, our thing with Darden is like, Darden, it's not your offense. Don't worry about your offense. Don't worry about that. Continue to get better on the defensive end. Continue to block shots. The offense is going to take care of itself. And, he's gaining more and more confidence every time we play. So I'm really happy for Darden. And, he's starting to hit his free throws. And, as a team, we're starting to hit our free throws, which is it was worrisome there for a while.
But, that can be a hard one when they're not dropping, right? It's funny, though. Everybody knows about Coase because he's from the area. Everybody knows about Turner because he's from the area. The Kentucky kids, all that kind of stuff. And I just hope that people are seeing, because DK is a blast to watch. He runs the floor hard. And in practice, I'm always staring at him in practice because he's not literally fighting, but fighting and aggressive, and he wants to do it right. And he wants his teammates to do it right as well. And I want to make sure he gets appreciated by people that they don't see it as much. Don't see him as much, or we don't hear him talked about as much, because everybody talks about Big Coase, which makes sense. Coase is killing it this year, and the other Kentucky guys and stuff like that too. And then John, you've talked about John before too, that he's growing in confidence, and his shooting is good, and things are improving there as well. And so continue to see those kinds of things step up. And again, the depth. Oh my goodness, you have what, 15 guys you can run out in practice. You got 12 guys you can run through in a game right now. You've got to just absolutely love having that depth.
Yeah, our depth has been critical because you know how we like to play.
Yeah.
We want to play up and down. We want to press for 94 feet. And John, his growth is coming on the defensive end. He's playing with so much more discipline on defense. His attention to detail with the scouting report's been so much better. It's improving every day. Like John, he's like Turner. At some point he's gonna have a major, major breakthrough. He's gonna have a game. He hits 5 or 6 threes. He gets a couple run out layups because he jumps in the passing lane. Like he is so close. And it's because what he's doing in practice. Like we're seeing it in practice, and we're just like, you just as a coach, and you know how it is because you got your team, you're just like, all right, you're waiting to like just for this kid to have this one breakthrough. That's all he needs is just one breakthrough. And it's getting ready to happen for John because what he's doing every day in practice.
Practice is important, isn't it? People don't understand how important it is just to have that commitment and practice for in order for it to come out in the games and come together in the games as well. Your vets, you got savvy vets on the team: Cooper, Mike, Tate. They're so consistent. I mean, what more can you say about those guys other than just the consistency that they bring every single day?
Well, I mean, let's start with Cooper Robb. I mean, is there a guy that in the country that plays harder than him? If there is, I want to know who it is. Because like Cooper Robb, he does this every single day, every single game. We call it, he's a hero maker. I mean, he's getting every 50-50 ball. He's taking every charge. He's guarding the other team's best player. He rebounds. He sprints the floor to offense. And, he's starting to find his groove on the offensive end too. And so I'm excited for Coop. You know how much I love Coop. I'm so proud of him. We're going to miss him. Anybody who brings that much effort on a daily basis, that's you admire that. And then Tay has just been so steady and so steady, and having he's a player of the year candidate in this league. That's the type of season he's having. And Michael Marino, he's 7th in the country in threes made. 7th. I mean, he's having a all conference type of, season right now. That's what he's doing. And, he made a huge commitment to his body in the off season. He got in the best shape of his life. And now the work's showing. It's showing. He's been so consistent. And the way he's shooting the basketball, I mean, he hit a three the other day. I mean, he shot it from Georgetown. I mean, there's like you couldn't guard it. I mean, he was so far out. I mean, it was beyond the NBA 3-point line. I mean, it wasn't even close to that. So I'm excited for Michael, but they're having fun. They're having fun, because we got such a great group of guys that they love each other, they celebrate each other. Because every team you want to be a family. And that's hard. That's hard. It's hard to do. And it's hard to become that type of team. And these guys have that type of relationship with each other. And that's why they're getting the results they're getting.
And you talk about being player led. Those guys are doing a good part of that. We talked with Cooper about Tayshawn's defense, and he said, they were arguing in the locker room the other day of who was going to guard the best player and those kinds of things. And so you got guys that are giving that effort. And as a younger guy looking to those older guys and the effort they're putting in, it's always going to rub off on those younger guys and help them out as well. And we're seeing it, right? Turner's earning more minutes. He's had a couple big games, some big shots as well. And you've got other guys that are, biding their time. But when they do get the opportunity, guys like DJ get out there, man, and they're putting it out there as well. And the effort's out there too. And like I said, I told Cooper this, I said, it's just so much fun to watch this year. Last year I know was so frustrating, but this year is just so much fun to watch. These guys just come out, pour it out there every single game. And you're seeing the results too. 4-game winning streak, 5-1 in the conference. Is it truly one game at a time?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I mean, we're so focused on Lipscomb right now. I mean, they got a good basketball team. They got a great basketball coach. They beat Louisville in the non-conference. They had some big wins, and they're playing really good right now. They just had a great weekend. I know we had a really good weekend. So did they, and we got to go in their building and we got to play extremely well to win this game. And, and it's going to be, we're going to have to guard. I mean, we got to guard them, and they are really good offensively. So this will be a big challenge for us defensively, and that's what we've made our biggest strides is on the defensive end.
Do you feel like EKU right now has put the conference on notice where everybody knows who you guys are, and when you come into their place, it's a big deal?
Well, when you're 5-1, you're 5-1. You
Yeah.
know, they know you know that. So, we're not going to sneak up on Lipscomb, and but every look, this league is full of great coaches
Mhm.
that,
Yes.
you talk about Donnie Jones on Saturday. I mean, Donnie's been doing this forever, coached at a very high level, and his team's playing really well. And then you go into Lipscomb, they got a great coach. I mean, so all these coaches understand how important league games are, and how hard it is to win on the road in the league. And the A-Sun is one of the best leagues in the country. It's one of the best mid-major leagues in the country.
Well, it's been a great start to the ASUN conference, but I know you're only in the beginning still. Still got about 75% of that conference scheduled to go. Big road trip coming up. And again, back home. Next home game is Saturday, the 28th of January, hosting Bellarmine in that game there. I'll be there. Hopefully everyone else will join us there as well. Students will be back in town, which will be fun to have them all back too.
Yeah.
Coach, thank you for taking time for me again today. I always appreciate it. And good luck with the road trip coming up.
Now, I appreciate you. And listen, we've been on Christmas break, and our fans have been through the roof.
Yeah.
We're currently leading the league in attendance right now. I mean, they have had our back, and when we get the students back, it'll be rocking in here. So look forward to seeing you then, brother.
Yes, sir.